What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Bubbaville Bassin. In today's video, we're going to be talking about pre-spawn, post-spawn, and everything in between. So, I have a week's worth of fish clips that I'm going to show y'all, and I'm going to break down each clip so that way y'all can see what I was doing and how I did it and what the conditions were when I did it. So, I'm using a very finesse style of presentation. This is how you can get bass on very pressured waters and catch stuff that, you know, would be hard to catch in pressure situations. So without further ado, we're going to get into the clips. So if y'all have any comments about spawn fishing or anything like that, where to get any of the stuff I'm using, just leave a comment down below and I'll hook y'all up. Also, most of the stuff will be in the link in the description. So without further ado, let's get it. Alright guys, so I have the Ned shot tied on the 7'3" medium Fitzgerald rod with 10-pound vicious fluorocarbon. And you see the tree that's kind of out there. I'm going to freeze the frame. Y'all saw me throw to that tree. It comes out about 15 feet and it kind of branches off in like a Y shape. And I threw at the middle part of that tree on the right side of it. And there's usually a bass that usually spawns on that every year. I know where to go because I've fished that tree a bunch of times. But I threw a very, very heavy football head around a lot and I didn't get any bites. So I was like, let me go super finesse and throw the Venom Lures DK rig. And I put the Ned shot on there like I was saying earlier. They wanted that really finesse bite in the back of the shoreline. There's a bunch of stumps and stuff, but it comes 2 feet to like 6 feet, and at the end of that tree it's 6 feet, so there's a good transition right there for the bass to want to stage right there. I'm almost guaranteed there's a bet I could not see it because we had a lot of wind that day. It was a 27-mile-an-hour wind that y'all can see. 244. Alright, so you all saw the dock I was fishing next to that tree. I literally cast to the bushes about 5 or 6 feet off the shoreline because the bushes come off pretty far. And the same exact thing happened. I literally cast it out, let it pause. And then you see it right here. I get the hook set, same bait, but this is a way bigger fish. So the bucks were pushed up on the shoreline and the females were hovering off. I think this one might have been spawned out. I'm not sure. I actually forgot to check her stomach, but you can see me fighting it now. It's really putting that 7'3" to work. I had to be careful because the bass have really thick sandpaper mouths, and when they eat that little tiny bait, they do chew on a lot of line. So as you see me scoop it up right here, I had to make sure that I secured the bass pretty well. But like I was saying, she was sitting about 5 to 6 feet off the shoreline, and she was roaming for food, and I can't tell. I think she's spawned out, but there you go, guys. A 5.5 pounder. You can't beat it on a little tiny bait from Venom Lures. So we're gonna roll the next fish clip. You know what I mean? Gotta flip over to that bush. I get hung in a tree that's below. I pop out of it, and as soon as it hits bottom, boom, a buck bass. It's crazy. This thing absolutely gave me a huge fight for, you know, that little tiny fish. It was crazy. He was scrappy. That was another one that was right on the shoreline. If I would have thrown something super heavy, it would have spooked it and it would have just turned its nose and work. Alright, so we're gonna freeze the frame right here. That tree that's coming out to the left. We have a point up here. And I caught one to the right of this tree here, about 15 feet to the left. There's a dock behind it. So I figured that they would put a bed on this point because the wind was blowing from the southwest and this side was more north. And the wind wasn't touching this bank. So you want to make sure when you get your boat up there, you don't want to block the entrance or the exit to a bed. So I threw right in the corner and I was about 15 to 20 feet away. You want to make sure your line can't be seen by the bass and he can't like associate it with your boat. So that way when you throw something small, it's more of a reaction bite, and it's not like, okay, I've seen that before. So when I threw that over there, I wasn't blocking the exit or the access point to the bed. So I did the right thing by just throwing right on top of it, and this giant bass ate it. It was another 5-pounder.
When you got here. What do you think she is, babe? About 5 pounds.
I'm gonna say 578. What do you think? Before you weigh her, you cheater.
Like 447.
What?
$537.
All right. So what are you putting on my?
I don't think you'll be able to cast this. We're gonna put the girl back. Thank you, girl.
Alright, so in this clip, you see that stick sticking back up that way, and I'm going to pause the video so that way y'all can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to highlight it in red. That stick probably had fry on it. This is a week later from those last clips. I'm pretty sure that stick had fry on it because as soon as I threw it over there, I saw a bunch of stuff just disperse. So that was definitely probably fry. So as we play this clip, I'm literally working it through a bunch of sticks that are on the bottom next to that little, stick up right there, and we ended up getting a bass. I usually catch a spawning bass in the hole back that way where those bushes are, but this is the same stretch that I caught that 5-pounder on.
I was going there
a week ago.
What'd you end up getting on?
So I definitely knew there was going to be some action on this right side of this bank, and we ended up getting a nice little 2-pounder. So we're going to show y'all some underwater footage, and then I'm going to give you the breakdown of the Venom Lures Ned rig and show you where you can get it from, and there's other little nuggets of information in that video. So here we go. So here it is, guys, the Ned shot, like y'all have seen in the last 2 videos. It's made by Venom Lures on the DK rig, and it is a mushroom style, straight shank, Texas style Ned rig that you don't really see anywhere else. And I'm throwing it on 10-pound vicious fluorocarbon, and this helps me get it down there and basically feel stuff that I wouldn't be able to feel. Because if I use like 12 or 15, I would not be able to feel or cast this bait. And what else helps me cast this bait is my Fitzgerald 7'3" all-purpose medium rod with a loose LFS speed spool. It's a 7.5 to 1. It's a pretty neat setup for this little finesse stuff. Like I said, if I didn't have this rod, I would not be able to catch the fish I was catching today, and it's pretty crazy. I've done thrown heavier stuff, and they did not want any heavier presentations. It just sinks too fast. They want something that falls slow and gets down there. It's just kind of crazy because, like I was saying in my past videos, the Ned shot has these little ribs and it displaces the water in a way that most baits don't. And I'm pretty sure this tail folds over when the Ned shot sits on the bottom just like this, and then they pick it up and they eat it. So like I said, if you want any of these baits, use code Bubbaville. Venom Lures' website is in the link in the description, and you get 10% off if you use code Bubbaville. And also check out Fitzgerald rods. They make great quality rods. They can take a beating and they catch giant fish, and they give you the best of both worlds. So if you're new here, please hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to get back at it.
It's all about the gentle plop.
Alright, so in this video you hear me talk about it's all about the plop. You don't want to throw a bait and make a super big splash on a bed. So you'll see me cast to this submerged dock, and as soon as the bait hits the water, I see fry shoot up like freaking popcorn. And as soon as I knew I hit the bottom, I was going to have a fish. So it was pretty crazy. So I make the cast,
That's
I
a
pop it
scrapper.
right off the dock.
Yeah, it didn't look that
As soon as it
big
hits
when
bottom,
jumped, but it might
boom.
be.
Keep in mind, this is the same cove I caught the 5-pounder in that other little
Pound and a half
deke.
at least, 16.
So I already noticed something. So when I casted right here, a bunch of fry jumped up.
French fry?
Yep.
But you got a lighter jig head. Than I do.
So I found 2 spots that were heavy on spawning
They're
bass.
obviously feeding.
Nice bass.